Hey, how are you? AJ Good here at the House of Masks, bringing you another mask video. Today we're doing a Slipknot mask unbox. Now there is 2 masks in this box, but I'm only going to unbox one for the sake of multiple videos. The second video out of this box might end up being kind of a tutorial or a time-lapse video anyway. So, with that being said, I have a package here from Australia, mate. This came from the one and only Daniel Wright at Drop Bear Studios. I know that you guys know who that is because he has been banging out some quality work. I know I say this in all his videos, but his work really has come leaps and bounds and is definitely speaking for itself now. I had an idea for a mask that I had never seen replicated before. I hit Daniel up with the idea and he didn't even wait for me to give him the go-ahead. He just started on it. So that is what we have in the package, and that is what we are going to be unboxing today. So as you guys can probably guess, since you clicked on a fucking video that says it, this is a Craig mask. Now what's so special about this Craig mask? Well, this is a super rotten Craig mask from the Iowa era. If you guys look at old pictures from like the Freddy vs. Jason premiere, you'll see that Craig is wearing a mask that is absolutely ruined. And my theory here is that this is his rusty version over time filling with sweat and expanding and rotting and bursting. Because this mask was foam latex, so anytime Craig had this on and was sweating in it, it was just soaking into the mask like a sponge. And it eventually got so bad that the chin ended up splitting, the neck ended up splitting, and it was just a big gross ball of rotting mask. So I started looking into why exactly the rusty version seemed to be the one that took the hardest beating, because even midway through the Iowa era, you can see the neck starting to rip, and it's just not doing so good. And I've come to the conclusion, now this is just my research, this could be totally wrong, Craig really didn't wear his clean Iowa ever live. He wore it for some photos and promo pics and stuff like that, but I can't really find a show where he was wearing this thing live. Not sure why that is. I don't know why he preferred the other one so much, but if you see footage or a photo of Craig during the Iowa era live, he's probably wearing the rusty version. So I think that this one just soaked in all of the sweat from every single show and eventually filled up like a water balloon that got too full and it busted, and yeah. So when I was a kid, I thought this was a totally different version, kind of like how Chris has his Freddy vs. Jason mask. But clearly over time you learn more and you can put 2 and 2 together, and this is actually just his rusty version, which I've come to find out. But I still wanted that variant in my collection, especially now that we're doing rotting masks like this fucking rotten Iowa Corey. Might as well. So like I said, he wore this at the Freddy vs. Jason premiere, and it was pretty busted up, and I do believe that if you can find photos or footage from the Disaster Pieces screening in New York, it looks pretty fucking ragged there as well. Wasn't a whole lot of photos to go off of for Daniel to do this thing, but I think he made the best out of a bad situation, and once I show you guys these close-ups, it's probably going to blow your mind a little bit. But first I need to put in these nails. So we're going to go ahead and throw these nails in, and then I'll give you guys some nice close-ups of the mask completely finished with the nails in and everything like that. So give me just a second. So I've got all of the nails in, and I moved the camera in just a little bit closer so you guys can see just what an absolute monster of a mask this thing is. The craftsmanship that Daniel put into this one is really mind-blowing. The cast itself is all warped and kind of bubbly and weird, and then we've got obviously the added rot there on the front of the face, along with the cuts and the dremeling and everything to make it look like the mask had burst and it started to fall apart. On top of that, I'm always really impressed with his rust technique. I know there's a lot of different methods of rusting, and it's not a super uncommon thing. It's been around for a long time, like fake rust. But Daniel's just looks super authentic, and I'm definitely stoked about it. So this mask isn't stuffed yet. I haven't put anything in here. I literally just finished with the nails and set it up on itself. So obviously it's a nice heavy cast, especially if it's holding 50 nails in without falling or anything. So I'm probably going to take this one out into the daylight. It's a pretty nice day out, and give you guys some glamour shots of it, and that will be today's video. I just wanted to add that the whole Slipknot game just stays interesting because, to be honest, growing up I fucking hated the Freddy vs. Jason masks. Like every single one of them I didn't like. I didn't like Chris's Freddy vs. Jason, didn't like the way that Jim's mask looked, Clown's even looked stupid, and I didn't like this one. But it's weird to see the change in what you think is cool and what you don't think is cool, because like I said, I didn't think that any of this was cool until I contacted Daniel about adding it to the set, and now I'm in love with it. And I think the same thing happened with the Freddy vs. Jason Chris that I got from Joey Fabricius a few years ago. So it's a nice way to keep the hobby interesting and keep the whole Slipknot mask thing going, because they had so many, and a lot of them I didn't like, but then when it comes down to time to put it in my set, I start to fall in love with it watching it come to life. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now, take this thing outside. I'll give you guys some nice close-ups, show everything in detail, and that will be today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you later.